I'm Prachi, a head nutritionist and lifestyle expert from Lou Coutinho's team. And speaking about my work experience, I've worked in this field for about past 8 years and have handled various cases right from cancer to diabetes, thyroid, PCOS, and many more. So today I shall be discussing about acidity and 5 powerful tips to help combat it effectively. But to understand about acidity, let us first understand the normal mechanism that takes place during our digestion process. So what happens is, when we eat food, it reaches our stomach, right? And it is in the stomach that, it secretes certain digestive acids to help break down the food particles and further aid in digestion. So this is how, the normal process of digestion is, which is required. But due to some reason, if there is excess production of these acids, that leads to acidity. And then some may, experience heartburn or even acid reflux, wherein, the acids come in the mouth. And if this acidity, continues chronically, that can affect our body system, or rather our blood pH, to become extremely acidic, which is highly detrimental because having an internal and acidic environment serves like a breeding ground for almost all of our inflammatory diseases, right from cancer to diabetes to even heart diseases. Hence it is extremely important to deal with acidity by addressing the root cause. So commonly, when someone has acidity, what they generally do probably is, just take an antacid, maybe a couple of doses, and then they feel good about it. So I first, before we go ahead, I would like to know from y'all, what do you do if you have acidity? Do you just take up an antacid and you think that that is working on the root cause, or do you think that it is just a symptomatic relief? Could you let me know in the comment section? Someone is saying Gelusil, okay. Antacid. Drink a lot of warm water helps, okay. Human water, yes. Okay. Ice water, okay. Gelusil. Eno, okay. Digene. Alright, thank you so much. So, yes, I have come across many who just, pop in an antacid and, for their acidity and heartburn, thinking it is actually helping them cure the acidity. But in reality, it is just giving you symptomatic relief. So, basically an antacid has magnesium to neutralize the acid that forms. But if there is only magnesium in the antacid, that can cause diarrhea. Hence, most of the antacids also have mostly aluminium, which can, in fact lead to constipation. So, when you're taking an antacid, you're actually, calling for many other issues like constipation or even diarrhea for that matter. Also, chronic or an excessive use of antacids can actually cause low stomach acid production in the long run, which again can cause indigestion and a certain amount of because a certain amount of acid is required to digest the food that we eat. Hence, it is extremely important to find the root cause and work on it. So, of course, if you need an antacid, take it under, medical supervision. But parallelly, you must also take care of the lifestyle changes to combat acidity. So, there are certain factors which are mostly lifestyle related that can cause acidity. For example, having faulty eating habits, or consuming too much of junk food, like your aerated drinks which have carbonic and phosphoric acid and even high fructose corn syrup, which are highly acidic. Also, certain packaged foods which are loaded with preservatives and additives like MSG, or too much of salt and refined sugar in these foods can also lead to too much of acidity. Even binge drinking, smoking, drinking too much of tea, coffee which has caffeine, also consuming too much of spicy food can lead to acidity. Apart from this, certain lifestyle factors like having sedentary lifestyle with like zero activity, which affects your blood circulation, even lack of water intake leading to dehydration. In fact, even having emotional stress, like chronic emotional stress and anxiety, wherein people tend to suppress their emotions, that can also cause acidity. So you see there are varied reasons which are mostly lifestyle related which can cause acidity. So it is very important to really address these causes, these root causes, and work on them to help combat acidity at its root itself. So hence we all need to consciously be aware of these triggers and work on the root cause. Now coming to the remedies which probably all of you are waiting for. Before I give my in my experience whatever remedies have worked for myself or for my clients, for my family, I would like to know from you if you all use some specific home remedy, or if there's any lifestyle change that you would have done which has helped with your acidity. If you all can mention that in the comment section. Any remedy that you resort to when you have acidity? Intermittent fasting, great. Okay. Human, okay. Circadian rhythm fast, definitely yes. Pranayam, definitely, yeah. Spicy food to be avoided. Chewing food and eating slow, wow, very good. Lemon water. Rice kanji first thing in the morning, great, yes. Basil leaves, right. Meditation, yes, that's correct. Superb. So I can see a lot of you are pretty much aware of things that suit you, which are natural and are highly effective in treating acidity. So I'm really happy that a lot of you are aware of it. So now let us come to the list, those 5 powerful and effective lifestyle tips and remedies that have worked for me, for my clients and my near and dear ones especially, and I'm really eager to share it with you all. So the first and foremost being chewing your food, rather each morsel, very very well. This is like the base and the simplest and at the same time the most effective remedy for acidity. Believe me, it is. And I've seen so many clients and so many cases wherein just simply doing this has helped curb and combat their acidity to a great extent, and in fact for many people it has just vanished. So chewing each morsel well is extremely important. So let me tell you the logic behind that. Many think that digestion starts in the stomach, but that is not true. The first step of digestion process starts in the mouth itself. So you have your teeth which help in grinding the food particles into smaller pieces, and then your saliva has certain digestive enzymes which start the partial digestion of food in the mouth itself. But imagine if you are eating your food fast, thus skipping this crucial step. What will happen? Your stomach will have to secrete excess acid than normally required to digest those undigested large food particles which could have been partially digested in the mouth itself. this leads to excess acid production and thus acidity. It is as simple as that. So the old saying that we need to chew each morsel 32 times is actually true. Or if you can't really do it at the first instance, you can't really chew it for 32 times, let us start with a lesser count. But basically the idea is to chew each morsel well, so that it mixes well with the saliva, and then you swallow it and then take the next morsel. Or even better, after swallowing your morsel, take a deep breath and then go for the next morsel. So you have to give enough time, a minimum of 20 minutes at least, for your meal. But it's a handy tip for people who are looking out for weight loss as well, because when you eat slow, it will automatically help reduce the portion size of the meal as well, thus avoiding overeating. And overeating, for that matter as well, can lead to acidity. So that's like the most effective tip that I have for you all for acidity. The next is to avoid keeping longer gaps between meals, and to avoid irregular meal timings as well. So normally a vegetarian meal might take anywhere between 3 to 3.5 hours, and a non-veg meal might take anywhere between, say, 4 to 5 hours. Post that, the stomach is ready for the next meal. Also, your body has a memory of your meal timings and will start producing acid at that time, irrespective of whether you are eating or not eating at that time. So if you tend to push the time due to maybe, say, your work schedule or any other work for that matter, your body is not aware of the same, and it will start irrespective, will start secreting the acid at the time, at that particular time itself. And just imagine, if there is no food to act on it, what will happen? It will actually act on the mucosal lining of the stomach, causing again acidity and acid reflux. And if this goes on, it can also cause stomach ulcers. So it is that detrimental. So hence it is extremely important to avoid long gaps and eat almost try to eat at the same time every day as much as possible, because we need to go by our biological clock, or our circadian, need to follow our circadian rhythm. But of course, having said that, we shouldn't be consuming meals too frequently as well. That's also not a good idea. So it was believed that you need to eat after every 2 hours. So that is not really the case, because then you are actually you're compelling the body to produce acid frequently to break down the food coming in, which is again not right. So on an average, giving a gap of 3.5 to 4 hours between meals is most appropriate. The third tip, or rather remedy, that you can use is AJS water, that I call, which is ajwain, jeera and soft water. So ajwain, which is carom seeds, jeera, which is cumin seeds, and soft, which are fennel seeds, are extremely beneficial when it comes to acidity, and in general for better digestion as well, as they help secrete digestive enzymes to aid better digestion. Also fennel seeds, for that matter, soft, they help keep the stomach calm and reduce the burning sensation during acidity. So what you need to do is just you can make like a premix of these seeds, taking about 50 grams of ajwain and 100 to say 150 grams each of jeera and soft, and chew on a teaspoon of this mix immediately post meals. Or what you can do is you can make a concoction out of it by using 1 teaspoon of ajwain seeds and 1 tablespoon each of jeera and soft in about 1 liter of water, and soak it overnight. Next day you need to just boil and reduce this water to half, and then strain and sip on this water throughout the day. You can also squeeze few lemon drops in it, and can especially have it about 45 to 60 minutes post a meal to aid digestion and combat acidity. The next, or the fourth remedy, is kokum sabja water. Kokum, which is called as Garcinia indica, is a superfood when it comes to acidity and body heat. Kokum is basically a coolant, and it helps keeping the body alkaline as well. Also, sabja seeds, which are also called as sweet basil seeds or takmaria seeds. They also have a cooling effect and help neutralize the acidity. So what you need to do is take about 1 to 2 dried kokum and just soak them, say about for 4 to 5 hours. Then squeeze out the extract and mix in a glass of fresh water, say about 200 ml, and add about 1 teaspoon of soaked sabja seeds, and you can also add 1 teaspoon of roasted jeera powder, and you just have to sip on this drink. You can preferably have this about an hour before or after a meal. The third, or rather the fifth remedy is tulsi elaichi tea. Tulsi, which are holy basil leaves, and elaichi is cardamom. This also has a very soothing effect, and it gives instant relief from acidity. So tulsi basically it helps in reducing the burning sensation in the stomach, and it helps with better digestion as well. Also elaichi has a similar effect, a soothing effect, and it stimulates digestion as well. So what you need to do is just take about 4 to 5 fresh tulsi leaves, and take about 2 coarsely crushed elaichi, that is cardamom, in 2 cups of water, and boil it, and simmer it for 5 minutes, and then you just need to strain and sip on this warm tea. Alternatively, if you're feeling too much of acidity, you can instantly just chew on, say, about 4 to 6 fresh tulsi leaves. Just chew them well so that you release the juices. Or you can also chew on 2 elaichi pods, which is like a great remedy to combat acidity. So these were the 5 most effective lifestyle tips and remedies that I swear by for acidity, that have worked really well for my clients and my family and my near and dear ones. So I hope you all have jotted it down, and even if you all haven't, I'll be sharing this on my Instagram handle, which is prachi.achrekar. That is PRACHI .achrekar, which is ACHREKAR. So in case you have missed on any of these remedies, I shall be posting them on my Instagram handle. Now let me take a few questions. Okay. Someone is asking, I have dried kokum powder. How do I consume it? Do I need to have it on an empty stomach? So, as I said, you can use dry kokum powder as well, in the kokum sabja water. Instead of the dried kokum, you can use about 1 teaspoon of that dried kokum powder and just, mix it with water and keep for a while. And then you just have to strain it and, in a glass of fresh water. So you can use it that way. You can have it preferably about an hour before or after the meal, especially if it's for acidity. What about mint leaves? Yes, definitely. Even mint leaves, for that matter, are very very good for acidity. So even like I said, for tulsi leaves, you can also chew on mint leaves, the same way, to help with the acidity. Yes, AJS water is ajwain jeera soft water. Whenever I get less sleep, I feel acidic. Exactly. So sleep deprivation or chronic sleep deprivation is also one of the causes for acidity, for indigestion, because sleep is and in fact your nighttime sleep, to complete those 7 to 8 hours of sleep, is extremely important to keep up with your gut health, because it is only during your sleep that the recovery and detoxification of your body takes place, and that if that doesn't happen effectively, that will affect your gut and thus make you feel acidic. So yes, having good sleep is very, very important. All right, so I think I've addressed your queries now. So as I said, if you have any further queries, you can always you can feel free to post it on my handle, which is prachi.achrekar, and I shall be happy to address your queries. And as I said, I'll be posting these 5 useful tips and remedies for acidity on my Instagram handle, so you need not worry about that as well. Alright then, have a great evening. Take care everyone.